Tonight, as the world drifts into quiet slumber, a train of silver and starlight awaits you, a magical carriage suspended between the sky and the dreams of countless worlds. Its rails shimmer across the midnight sky, bending and twisting over clouds that glow with gentle luminescence, and each car hums softly, vibrating with the whispers of distant stars. Step aboard, and the air around you fills with the scent of twilight forests, soft rain on glass rooftops, and the faint sweetness of unseen flowers. As the train begins to move, the floating worlds unfold before your eyes, islands of light drifting in velvet darkness, oceans that reflect the cosmos, forests that glow with bioluminescent life. Every passing scene hums a melody of calm, designed to slow racing thoughts, ease every worry, and carry your mind gently into the soft embrace of night. Along the journey, mysterious guides appear, beings of light and shadow, guardians of dreams, each one inviting you to witness wonders you could never imagine while awake. Let the rhythmic hum of the train, the twinkling of stars, and the serenity of floating worlds carry you. Close your eyes, breathe deeply, and surrender to the midnight journey, where every moment is a step closer to perfect, peaceful sleep. The Invitation. It was a night when the moon hung low and silver, casting a delicate glow over the quiet earth. You were lying in bed, the soft hum of the evening settling around you, when you noticed a faint shimmer at the corner of your room. At first, you thought it was moonlight playing tricks on your eyes, but then it moved, curling into a trail of soft, glowing mist. The mist began to shape itself, slowly, delicately, until it became an envelope. It was unlike any letter you had ever seen. The paper was made of starlight, so thin it seemed it might disappear if you breathed too hard. The writing glowed in a warm golden script. Tonight, at midnight, your seat awaits on the starlight train. Follow the silver path. Your heart stirred with quiet curiosity. You stepped out of bed, bare feet touching the cool floor. As you moved toward the window, you saw it, a path of silver light stretching far into the distance, floating above the ground like a ribbon in the air. Without hesitation, you opened the window and stepped into the night. The moment your foot touched the glowing path, the world below faded, and the air filled with a soft, distant melody, like the sound of wind chimes in a faraway garden. The journey had begun. The silver path. The silver path felt warm beneath your feet, as though it remembered the touch of countless dreamers who had walked here before. It curved and swayed gently, suspended in the air, leading you higher and higher above the sleeping towns and quiet rivers below. The night was utterly still, except for the whisper of the wind as it moved around you, carrying scents you couldn't quite name, hints of night-blooming flowers, distant rain, and something else, something like the scent of dreams themselves. With each step, the world beneath you grew softer and hazier. The rooftops and roads blurred into pools of shadow, until they were nothing more than drifting shapes in a sea of mist. The stars above shone brighter here, as though you were moving closer to them, and the moon seemed to watch you with a quiet, knowing smile. Up ahead, through the veil of starlight, you began to see it, the starlight train. Its carriages were long and shimmering, each one made of crystal and silver, with windows that glowed like lanterns in the night. The sound reached you first, a low, harmonious hum, like the deep, steady purr of a cosmic cat. Then came the sight of the great golden wheels turning slowly, not on tracks, but on the very air itself. At the end of the glowing path, a small platform hovered, just large enough for one traveler at a time. As you stepped onto it, the train slowed, and a door of frosted glass slid open with a soft sigh. Inside, warm golden light spilled out to meet you, carrying with it the faint scent of spiced tea and polished wood. Someone was waiting in the doorway, not quite a person, not quite a shadow, wearing a conductor's coat made of the night sky itself. "Welcome aboard," they said, their voice deep and calm. "We've been expecting you." The starlight carriages. You step across the threshold, and at once the air changes. Inside the starlight train, the world feels warmer, as though you've entered the very heart of the night itself. The gentle hum of the engine is joined by a faint melody, slow, lilting notes that sound like day-re being played on a harp made of moonlight. The carriage floor is made of polished black wood that reflects the golden lanterns above. Each lantern is shaped like a crescent moon, swaying gently as if in a breeze that don't quite exist here. Soft velvet seats in shades of deep midnight blue line either side, their cushions plush enough to sink into like a cloud. The walls are inlaid with silver filigree, forming delicate constellations that twinkle faintly when you pass them. You glance out the nearest window and catch your breath. The train isn't just moving forward, it's gliding through a river of stars. Waves of light flow alongside the carriage, shimmering with hues of indigo, violet, and gold. You see entire galaxies spinning slowly in the distance, each one glowing like a lantern left out in the dark. The conductor glides ahead of you, his coat trailing constellations that shift and rearrange themselves. Each carriage, he says softly, is a doorway to a different kind of dream. Some are made for rest, others for wonder. Tonight, you'll travel through them all. You follow him into the first compartment. Inside, the ceiling is a dome of crystal, revealing the endless night sky above. Reclining chairs float a few inches above the ground, drifting gently in place. Between them, small tables hold cups of steaming tea that seem to refill themselves, their aroma rich with calming herbs Sube never smelled before. The conductor gestures toward one of the seats. Here, the journey truly begins, he says. You may stay awake to watch the stars, or close your eyes and let them carry you. As you sink into the chair, the fabric molds perfectly to your shape, holding you like a warm embrace. Somewhere in the distance, a bell chimes, soft, melodic, and impossibly far away, and the train begins to move faster, pulling you deeper into the realms of dream. The hidden dream station. The hum of the starlight train grows softer, like the steady rhythm of a heartbeat slowing into calm. Outside your window, the Star River bends, its shimmering currents guiding the train towards something vast yet hidden in shadow. You lean closer, and in the distance, you see it, a cluster of golden lights glimmering faintly against the dark, like fireflies gathering in a secret place. The train begins to slow. The carriages sway gently, their lanterns casting rippling patterns along the velvet walls. The music of the journey changes, the harp-like notes are joined by a low, soothing chime, as though the night itself is preparing for an arrival. When the train finally stops, the door slides open with a whisper, revealing a platform bathed in silver mist. It's unlike any station you've ever seen. The floor appears to be made of translucent stone, and beneath it flows a stream of glowing water, carrying small flecks of stardust. A sign, carved in silver script, hangs above the station archway, "The Moon Garden awaits." The air here feels alive, filled with a fragrance so delicate it's almost impossible to describe, a blend of night-blooming jasmine, cool rain, and something faintly sweet, like moonlight distilled into perfume. You step off the train and notice the platform is empty, except for the conductor, who now holds a lantern shaped like a blooming lotus. Its petals open and close slowly, pulsing with gentle light. This station, he explains, is a place that can only be reached by those who truly wish to rest. Many dream of finding it, but few ever do. Beyond these gates lies the path to the lost moon garden. As the mist begins to thin, you catch glimpses of it, a far-off glow, shifting like the reflection of the moon on still water. You feel the pull of it, not just in your mind, but in your chest, as if your heart recognizes this place before your eyes do. The conductor gestures for you to follow. "Come," he says, his voice as soft as the wind. "Your journey is only beginning." The path of luminous petals. You step beyond the silver gates of the station, and the world changes. The mist curls away, revealing a narrow path paved with smooth stones that seem to glow faintly under your feet. Each step you take leaves behind a shimmer, as though the ground remembers your passing and wants to hold on to it a little longer. The air is cooler here, yet comforting, a soft embrace of night. Above, the sky is painted in shades of deep blue and violet, streaked with silver clouds that drift lazily across a moon so large and close it feels like you could almost touch it. As you walk, you notice something strange. Tiny petals are drifting down from somewhere high above. They fall gently, without sound, landing on the path around you. When you bend to pick one up, it glows softly in your palm. The moment you touch it, you hear the faintest whisper, like a voice carried from a great distance. Rest now, you are safe here. You look up and see that the petals are not from any ordinary tree. Ahead, lining the path, stand tall, ethereal flowers unlike anything on earth. Their stems are crystal clear, their petals luminous, and at their centers, small spheres of light pulse like slow heartbeats. Each flower leans slightly toward you as you pass, as if acknowledging your presence. Some may release more glowing petals, which spiral gently through the air and brush your shoulders like a reassuring hand. Others hum faintly, a note so low and soft it melts into the background, yet you feel it calming your mind, untying knots of tension one by one. Blending with a strange, melodic hum. You soon reach the edge of a wider stream, this one flowing slow and deep, its surface so smooth it reflects the stars above as if the sky had been gently laid upon it. For a moment, you can't tell where the real sky ends and the reflection begins, as though you are standing at the edge of two worlds. Stretching across the stream is a narrow bridge made entirely of woven branches and silvery vines. They seem alive, their leaves trembling in rhythm with the water's flow. Strands of moonlight cling to the bridge, twining around it in ribbons, so it glows faintly like something born of dreams. As you step onto it, the wood beneath your feet is warm and smooth, almost as if it remembers every traveler who has crossed before you. The hum grows clearer now, it's the sound of the vines themselves, singing in harmony with the current below. Each step you take sends a soft vibration through the bridge, as though your presence is adding a note to the garden's quiet song. Halfway across, you pause and look down into the water. Beneath the mirrored sky, you see not fish this time, but drifting shapes, glowing petals swirling slowly in spirals, each one releasing a faint pulse of light before fading into the darkness below. They move in patterns that feel intentional, like messages written in a language older than words. The moment is so still, so perfectly suspended in time, that you almost forget to breathe. On the far side, the path disappears into an archway of flowering trees, their blossoms opening in the moonlight as though to welcome you. You take a final step across, feeling the breeze gentle hum fade behind you, carrying with you its music, a sound that will linger in your mind long after you leave this place. The moonlit archway. Stepping off the bridge, you find yourself standing before the most enchanting gateway you have ever seen. The archway rises high above you, woven not from stone or wood, but from living branches of flowering trees, their trunks bending gracefully toward one another as if locked in an eternal embrace. Each branch is heavy with blossoms of every shade of white, pearly, ivory, and soft silver, their petals shimmering faintly in the moonlight. As the breeze stirs, the flowers release a fine dust of luminescent pollen, drifting lazily in the air like tiny falling stars. The scent here is intoxicating. It is not just floral, it carries whispers of rain after a long summer stay, of old parchment warmed by the sun, and of the very first breath you take on a crisp morning. The fragrance seems to reach into you, loosening knots of tension you didn't know you were holding. You step closer, and something curious happens, the archway responds. The flowers turn gently toward you, opening wider, their glow deepening, as though they are aware of your presence and delighted by it. From somewhere within the foliage, you hear a faint chime, a single, pure note, like the sound of crystal touched by moonlight. When you pass beneath the arch, a ripple of light moves along the branches above, flowing ahead of you to illuminate the path beyond. The ground here is carpeted in pale petals, soft beneath your feet, making each step silent. The deeper you go, the more the air feels dreamlike, not heavy, but slow, as though time itself is pausing to let you savor this moment. Beyond the arch, the garden changes again. The trees grow taller and their leaves glisten like silver coins. Somewhere ahead, you catch the glimmer of water and the faint sound of voices, not human voices, but something gentler, more melodic, like the garden itself is humming a lullaby for the moon. It is here that you realize, you are no longer just walking through a garden. You are being guided, drawn toward a place that exists beyond waking life, a place where dreams root themselves into the earth. The river of starlight. As you follow the petal-soft path, the gentle hum grows richer, weaving into a melody that feels both ancient and familiar. The trees part slowly, revealing a sight so breathtaking that for a moment you simply stand still, unable to move. Before you flows a river, but not of ordinary water. This one glitters with shifting constellations, as though the night sky has poured itself onto the earth and begun to flow like liquid silk. The surface ripples with silver and indigo light, every wave carrying a scattering of tiny stars. Some may twinkle brightly before fading into the current, while others drift toward the shore, dissolving into shimmering mist. The air by the river feels cool and clear, each breath filling you with a calm so deep it seems to settle into your very bones. There is no sound of rushing or splashing, instead, the river sings in low, resonant tones, like the echo of a harp played far away. You kneel at the edge, touching the water with your fingertips. The surface is smooth, warmer than you expect, and the moment your skin meets it, a faint glow travels up your hand, wrapping around your wrist like a bracelet of moonlight. The sensation is weightless, almost like a memory of being held. Across the river, you can just make out a stone path leading into another part of the garden, but there is no bridge. Instead, a slender boat drifts toward you without oars, its hull carved from a single piece of pale crystal. The inside glows faintly, as if lit from within by captured starlight. It stops at your feet, waiting, not as an object, but as if it, though, is aware of your presence and ready to carry you to the next chapter of this journey. You step inside, and the moment you sit, the boat begins to glide forward in perfect silence, leaving a trail of sparkling ripples behind. The river bends ahead, carrying you toward something unknown but strangely comforting, as though the stars themselves have decided to guide you deeper into their secrets. Drifting through the SKYS veins. The crystal boat moves as though it has no weight, gliding effortlessly over the river of starlight. There is no sound of water breaking, only the faint shimmer of light rippling outward in perfect circles. Each gentle curve of the current feels like being cradled in the arms of the night itself. Above, the sky mirrors the river, constellations stretching endlessly, the Milky Way pouring across the heavens in a luminous arc. It's impossible to tell where the river ends and the sky begins, they seem to flow into each other, as if you're drifting through the very veins of the cosmos. A soft breeze brushes past, carrying scents both familiar and otherworldly, Montflover, cool rain, and something sweet like crystallized honey. The air feels so light that every breath makes you more at ease, as though each inhale lifts a little more weight from your thoughts. You look into the river and notice shapes moving within the glowing current. They are not fish, but slow, graceful forms of light, drifting star beings with long, flowing tails, like comets slowed to Adriamer space. One passes close to the boat, leaving behind a faint trail of silver dust that glitters before dissolving into the water. The boat drifts past smooth stones rising from the river, each one etched with glowing patterns, swirling spirals, constellations, and strange symbols that seem to hum quietly as you pass. The patterns almost feel alive, as though they are telling a story only the river understands. As you lean back, the gentle motion of the boat sinks with your breath. Inhale, rise. Exhale, a soft fall. Time becomes meaningless here. You could float for minutes or centuries and never feel the difference. The river begins to widen ahead, and in the distance, a faint archway of light takes shape, shimmering like a doorway made entirely of moonbeams. The boat glides toward it slowly, as though giving you time to savor every last moment of this endless starlit drift. The archway of moonlight. The closer you drift, the clearer the archway becomes, tall, graceful, and impossibly delicate, woven from strands of pure moonlight that seem to breathe with a gentle pulse. Each thread glows softly, casting ripples of silver light across the surface of the river. The air feels warmer here, tinged with a faint fragrance of night-blooming jasmine and something softer, like the memory of lullabies. The boat slows without you touching it, as if honoring the sacredness of this place. You can hear it now, a faint, melodic hum, resonating not in your ears but in your chest. It's the kind of sound that feels like it's been with you your entire life, waiting for you to remember it. The archway rises high enough to let a moon pass through, and at its center hangs a single droplet of glowing liquid light. It does not fall, only sways gently, as though caught in a breeze that does not exist. As your boat passes beneath it, the droplet brightens, a soft, welcoming flare, and a wave of calm spreads through your body, settling deep in your bones. On the other side of the archway, the river widens into a tranquil lagoon. Its waters are even brighter here, almost like liquid crystal, and the edges are lined with luminous blossoms that seem to open in your presence. Their petals shimmer faintly in colors the human eye rarely sees, blues so deep they hum, golds that feel warm without heat, and greens that seem to carry the scent of distant rainforests. Beyond the lagoon lies a garden so vast, it feels like a dream folded into reality. Towering moon lilies sway in the still air, their petals big enough to shelter a person. Trees with silver bark and leaves like glass catch and scatter the starlight, creating shifting patterns on the ground. Teeny lights, perhaps fireflies, perhaps tiny stars, weave between the branches. Somewhere deep within the garden, you hear the sound of a gentle stream, and you realize, you have arrived at the heart of the Lost Moon Garden. The heart of the Lost Moon Garden. You step from the boat, your feet meeting a path softer than moss, it's made of tiny petals, pale as frost and cool beneath your toes. The ground almost sighs as it accepts your weight, like it's welcoming you home. All around, the lagoon's gentle ripples send glimmers of light dancing up the trunks of the moonlit trees, making the entire garden seem alive, breathing in rhythm with you. The air here is thick with a magic you can almost taste, a mingling of scents that change with each breath. One moment, you catch the sweetness of blooming jasmine. The next, the crisp, clean scent of rain on stone. Then, without warning, the air carries a warm, soothing note that feels like childhood, the smell of a favorite blanket, the echo of a soft voice telling a bedtime story long ago. As you wander forward, your eyes are drawn to the center of the garden, where a great pool lies still as glass. Above it hangs a moon far larger than the one you know, its glow so soft it feels like silk brushing against your skin. The moon's reflection in the pool is perfect, yet as you watch, it ripples faintly, though the air is still. You lean closer and realize that it is not water, but something stranger, a liquid light, shimmering with threads of silver and gold. A low, melodic hum rises from the pool, the same note you felt beneath the archway of moonlight. The sound draws something from deep inside you, a memory, a yearning, a promise you didn't know you had made. It's as if the garden itself remembers you, as though you were always meant to stand here. Surrounding the pool are plants unlike anything on earth. Great moon lilies whose petals glow from within, each the size of a sail, slowly open and close in time with the hum. Trees with crystal leaves seem to sing softly as a breeze, invisible until now, stirs through them, sending a gentle rain of light down onto the pool. And scattered among them are tiny, impossibly delicate flowers whose petals are clear as dew but pulse faintly with a heartbeat of their own. As you breathe in, the air feels heavier and lighter at the same time, as though the garden is taking away the weight Jube carried and replacing it with something gentler, something more luminous. The sound of the water, the slow sway of the flowers, the warm embrace of moonlight, all of it begins to blend into a soft rhythm, a lullaby you can feel in every part of yourself. And then, you hear it. Not just a hum, but a voice. Gentle, almost a whisper, as though the moon itself is speaking. Welcome home, Dreame. You have walked a long way to find us. The words sink into you like warm light into cold skin, and for the first time in what feels like forever, your mind is perfectly still. Secrets in the silver light. You remain by the moonlit pool, your gaze locked on its shifting surface. The light there is not merely reflected, it moves of its own accord, swirling gently as though stirred by an unseen hand. Every curl and wave of brightness forms shapes that dissolve before you can fully recognize them, a doorway in the clouds, the outline of a bird with wings made of mist, the shadow of someone waiting far away. The whispering voice returns, soft and steady, like the sound of leaves brushing together. The garden holds many truths, Dreame, but they are given only to those who listen with the heart, not the mind. As the words fade, a ripple moves across the pool, and from its center rises a single petal, vast and glowing, the size of a small boat. It hovers above the water, cradling a drop of liquid silver that shimmers as though holding a fragment of starlight. The petal drifts toward you without a sound, stopping just at your fingertips. The moment you touch it, the world shifts. Your vision deepens, as though the moonlight has opened a hidden layer of reality. You see that the garden is more than trees and flowers, it is a map, a living tapestry that stretches beyond the horizon. The twisting vines are rivers, the petals are islands, and the shifting clouds of light above are constellations guiding travelers through dreams. Each glowing plant is a memory, each path a story someone once lived. You realize with awe that this place is not only a garden, it is the archive of every gentle dream ever dreamt. In the distance, through the silver haze, you see shadows moving, figures made entirely of light. Some walk slowly, as though in thought, others seem to drift like drifting leaves, unbound by weight or time. They do not disturb the stillness, they are the stillness. As you watch them, the petal in your hand hums softly. A warmth spreads from your fingers up your arm, to your chest, and then into your thoughts, untangling them like threads in a breeze. The restless noise that once filled your mind is gone. All that remains is the quiet certainty that you are safe, that you belong here, and that the garden will tell you only what you are ready to hear. Somewhere behind you, you hear the faint sound of a bell, a single pure note that carries across the entire garden. The light figures pause, as though the sound is a signal. One of them begins to move toward you, their form glowing brighter with each step. And just before they reach you, the voice in the air says, "It is time you learned why you were called here." The keeper of dreams. The figure of light approaches, their glow so soft that though inte blind you, yet bright enough to illuminate the silver mist around them. Each step they take sends a ripple through the moonlit ground, as though the earth itself welcomes their presence. Their form is tall, robed in threads of starlight that flow like water, and their face, if it can be called a face, is a gentle haze of light, shifting with warmth and serenity. When they finally stop before you, there is no sound except the quiet rustle of dream leaves swaying above. Then, in a voice that feels more like a thought whispered into your heart than spoken aloud, they say, "I am the keeper of dreams. My duty is to tend this garden, to guide those who wander here, and to protect the seeds of peace that grow within every dreamer's soul." Their words flow through you like a warm current, uncalling tensions you didn't realize you still carried. The keeper gestures toward the shimmering pool, where the swirling moonlight now reflects not the garden, but moments from your own life, Ismail, fragile fragments of time you had long forgotten. A smile shared with a friend. The hush of dawn after a night of rain. The feeling of safety when someone you loved held your hand. Every soul leaves behind such moments, the keeper continues. But in the waking world, they are often buried under noise and worry. Here, we nurture them, so that they may bloom again when you most need them. They extend a hand, if the flowing light can be called a hand, and offer you the glowing petal you touched before. The moment you take it, a strange thing happens, a soft wind rises, carrying with it the scent of your most cherished memories, a fragrance so gentle it feels like a lullaby. You were called here because the tides of your dreams were restless, the keeper explains. But the garden has no judgment, only welcome. You may stay as long as you wish, until your heart learns again to rest in stillness. They turn, and a silver path unfolds before you, leading deeper into the heart of the lost moon garden. The keeper glances back, the glow of their form pulsing faintly like a heartbeat. Come. There is one place I have never shown another dreamer. It lies at the garden's center, and there, under the oldest tree, the moonlight speaks its truest secrets. You step forward, the petal warm in your palm, and follow the keeper into the unknown glow. The path of silver silence. The keeper glides ahead, their robe of starlight trailing like a gentle comet's tail, casting soft silver shadows across the path. You follow slowly, each step sinking into the moonlit moss that cushions your feet like clouds. The ground is warm, not with the heat of the sun, but with something more delicate, a deep, steady warmth, like the heart of the garden itself is welcoming you. Above, the sky stretches vast and unending, sprinkled with constellations you've never seen before. They are not just stars, but blossoms of light, each one pulsing gently as if breathing. You realize, with quiet awe, that the constellations seem to be watching, their slow twinkling guiding you deeper into this realm. The night here feels endless, but not cold. The keeper's voice drifts back to you without their head turning. This path is called the Silver Silence. Every traveler who walks it sheds a little more of the weight they carry. Every breath you take here loosens the threads of worry. And it is true. The more steps you take, the lighter you feel, not just in your body, but in your thoughts. The restless hum of your mind fades to a calm, steady rhythm, like the tide at a quiet shore. To your left, a stream appears, flowing parallel to the path. But it isn't the water, it's liquid moonlight, flowing so slowly that its surface barely ripples. Teeny motes of gold drift within it, each one carrying a faint echo of laughter, music, or a whispered promise. The keeper pauses and gestures toward the stream. This is the river of forgotten joys, they explain softly. Every mote you see is a moment of happiness from the waking world, carried here when it is lost. The river keeps them safe until the dreamer remembers. You kneel beside the water, dipping your fingers into the moonlight. It's warm, almost like the glow of a candle, and as it touches your skin, a memory stirs, one you didn't even know you misplaced. You see yourself sitting beside a window on a rainy day, watching droplets race each other down the glass while a soft blanket warmed your shoulders. A feeling of quiet contentment fills your chest, so vivid it almost makes your eyes water. The keeper watches with gentle approval. These moments are the roots of peace, they say. Even in the darkest times, they wait, patient and undimmed, until you are ready to feel them again. You stand and continue walking. The path narrows, the air turning even softer, almost like silk. The garden around you grows more surreal, flowers shaped like falling stars, leaves that hum in harmony with your heartbeat, and faint silver moths drifting lazily, their wings dusted with light. Somewhere ahead, you hear a slow, rhythmic sound, like the breathing of the earth itself. The keeper glances over their shoulder, their voice barely above a whisper. We are nearing the center now. The oldest tree awaits, and under its roots, the moon speaks. You take a deep, steady breath, feeling the world tilt into a slower rhythm, as if time here moves only for you. The silver silence wraps around you like a gentle embrace, guiding you forward. The oldest tree. The path of silver silence leads you into a clearing where the air feels different, dense, yet easier to breathe. It is as if every breath you take here carries not just oxygen, but centuries of memory. The moonlight grows brighter, but it isn't harsh. It drapes the clearing in a glow so soft, it feels as though you've stepped inside a dream's heartbeat. At the center stands the oldest tree. Its trunk is vast, wider than a house, and its bark shimmers with a faint sheen, like 1,000 layers of polished silver and pearl. Deep grooves and swirls run along its surface, forming patterns that seem to shift as you look at them, sometimes resembling rivers, sometimes constellations. Its branches arch high into the sky, disappearing into the starlit mist above, as if they are holding up the night itself. You can't help but notice the roots. They do not simply plunge into the ground, they rise and weave around the clearing like sleeping serpents of stone and light. Some may form gentle arches you could walk under. Others curl protectively around pools of still water, each reflecting a different sky, as though each pool belongs to a different world. The keeper stops at the edge of the clearing, not stepping forward. You may enter, they say softly. But listen well, the oldest tree hears every thought, every whisper of your soul. Do not hide from it. Here, there is no need for masks. As you step closer, you hear it, a sound so deep and resonant it seems to echo inside your bones. It is not a voice exactly, but a vibration, like the slow, ancient breath of the earth. Each pulse of that sound makes your chest loosen and your shoulders sink. You realize your heart has matched its rhythm. You place a hand upon the bark. It is warm, alive, with a texture both solid and impossibly smooth, like holding something that has been polished by eternity. The moment your palm rests there, a wave of imagery floods your mind, moonlit gardens, glowing rivers, skies that ripple with silver clouds, and a sense of belonging so profound it makes you want to close your eyes and never leave. In that silence, you feel something else, a presence. It is neither male nor female, neither old nor young, but it feels infinite. And in a voice that is not sound but thought, it speaks. You have come far, dreamer. The garden has watched you since your first step. Tell me, what do you seek under my starlit boughs? The question lingers inside you, not pressing, not demanding, just waiting, as patient as the tree itself. You open your mouth to answer, but before you can, a silver petal drifts down from the high branches above, landing softly in your hand. It glows faintly, as if it carries the promise of something you have yet to understand. The keeper watches silently from the shadows of the clearing. The night air is still, and you sense that whatever happens next will shape the rest of your journey. The whisper of roots. The silver petal rests in your palm, its glow softening with every heartbeat. You look up into the towering branches, half expecting to see the one who sent it down. But the oldest tree does not move in the way ordinary trees do, it does not sway or rustle. Instead, it breathes, and you feel that breath in the windless air around you. You close your fingers gently around the petal and speak, your voice quieter than a whisper. I seek peace, you say. A place where the weight of my thoughts can rest. A place where I can remember who I am without all the noise. The air grows warmer, as if the oldest tree has drawn you closer without moving at all. From somewhere deep below, you hear the slow shift of its roots, earth moving, stone parting, until you feel the ground beneath you change. It softens, like moss thick enough to hold you afloat. Then, you hear it. Not through your ears, but through the soles of your feet, your skin, your bones. A voice that is also a song. Long before the first moon rose, it hums, this garden was only a dream in the mind of the sky. He drank from clouds before there were rivers. He listened to the stars before they knew their names. Every root he sent into the soul carries a story, and every story is a thread in the weave of rest. Inichis flicker through your mind, vast oceans with silver waves, mountains of glass and crystal, skies the color of memory itself. Juicy figures walking beneath this tree in ages past, travelers, wanderers, dreamers, each placing a hand on its bark just as you have done. Your thoughts race because they have nowhere to rest, the oldest tree continues. Let them sink into my roots. Let them become part of the deep, where time is slow and the night is endless. He will hold them for you, and you will walk lighter. A subtle tremor moves through the clearing, not of danger but of gentle invitation. The ground shifts again, and now you can see faint lines of silver tracing across the moss, curling toward your feet like flowing water. They are roots, luminous and warm, reaching for you. You step forward, letting them wrap softly around your ankles, not binding, but embracing. The sensation is strange, like a hand resting over your pulse, sinking it to the slow heartbeat of the earth. The keeper finally steps closer, their voice low and reverent. Few are trusted with the whisper of roots, they say. The tree has chosen to carry your burden. When you leave here, you will carry its peace instead. And as the silver light deepens, you feel your mind quiet in a way it never has before, like a sky cleared of clouds, leaving only the stillness of stars. The hidden path of moonlight. The silver glow from the roots lingers around your feet, warm and steady, like a lantern you carry inside your body. When you open your eyes again, the clearing feels different. The air is heavier with silence, as though you have stepped into a pause between two heartbeats. The keeper does not speak this time. Instead, they tilt their head toward the far edge of the clearing, where, moments ago, you would have sworn there was only shadow and thicket. Now, however, a faint shimmer catches your eye, as if moonlight had slipped through the cracks of reality itself. You take a step toward it. The moss beneath your feet feels deeper, softer, guiding you like an unseen current. Each time your foot lands, tiny motes of silver rise in the air, swirling briefly before dissolving. The shimmer grows brighter, resolving into a narrow trail no wider than your shoulders, lined with tall, white-barked trees that lean toward each other like friends sharing an old secret. The leaves above glow faintly from within, casting a pale, even light, moonlight that seems to have no source. This is the moon's pale path, the keeper says at last, their voice almost too soft to reach you. It cannot be found by those who search with their eyes. It appears only for those whose thoughts have been stilled by the oldest tree. You glance back, half expecting the clearing to have vanished, but it remains, roulette and all, waiting quietly behind you. Ahead, the path curves into the unknown, its glow bending gently through the trees. The air along the path feels different. There is no wind, yet the leaves seem to rustle with a sound like water running over glass. You hear fragments of whispers, half-formed words, laughter that may belong to people Jube never met or perhaps to memories Jube forgotten. The keeper walks beside you without another word, as if speaking would disturb the delicate balance that allows this path to exist. Somewhere ahead, you notice small pools of liquid light scattered along the trail, perfectly round, each reflecting a moon that isn't in the sky. As you pass the first pool, a ripple distorts the reflection, and for an instant, you see something else in the water, a place Jube never been but somehow know, a coastline bathed in silver fog, waves whispering as they rise and fall. You lean closer, but the keeper's hand rests lightly on your shoulder. Not yet, they murmur. The path will reveal what you are ready to see, and no more. With each step, the glow intensifies, until the path begins to curve downward. Somewhere ahead, the air carries a faint, almost imperceptible hum, the kind of sound you feel more than hear. It is pulling you forward, toward a place that feels both impossibly far and just around the next bend. You have no idea what waits there. But the deeper you walk, the more certain you become, this path is leading you not just deeper into the lost moon garden, but deeper into yourself. The heart of the garden. The hum grows stronger with every step, low and steady, resonating through your chest like the echo of a distant drum. The moon's veil path curves sharply now, descending between archways of white-barked trees whose glowing leaves sway, though no wind moves them. The keeper remains a step ahead, their robes brushing over the path as if gliding rather than walking. Their presence is steady, silent, a living lantern guiding you downward. At the end of the curve, the trees part. You step into a hollow so vast, your breath catches in your throat. The ground here is not made of earth or stone, it is made of light. It ripples gently under your feet like shallow water, but you do not sink. Above, the canopy opens to reveal a sky you have never seen before, a dome of deep indigo, streaked with slow-moving rivers of silver mist. In the center hangs a moon unlike any other, its surface shimmering with moving patterns, as though it is alive. But it is not the moon that commands your attention, it is what lies at the ojob's center. There, suspended just above the glowing ground, is a sphere of pure light, no larger than your hands cupped together. The hum comes from it, each pulse of sound spreading warmth through the air, through you. This, the keeper says softly, is the heart of the garden. Their voice is reverent, almost a whisper. It beats once for every dream the garden shelters, and for every soul it guides into rest. You take a step closer. The sphere turns slowly, as if it senses your approach. Its light is not blinding, but welcoming, like a candle in a window, waiting for you to come home. The keeper gestures for you to hold out your hands. When you do, the sphere drifts toward you, settling gently above your palms. It hovers there, humming, sending threads of silver warmth up your arms, through your chest, and into your mind. Images flicker behind your eyes, floating gardens, starlit rivers, luminous flowers opening in slow motion. You see yourself walking paths you have not yet traveled, meeting faces you have not yet met. And somewhere, deep in the vision, you see a door of light waiting in the distance. When the vision fades, the sphere rises again, returning to the center of the hollow. The keeper smiles faintly. It knows you now, they say. And when the time comes, it will show you the way. The hum softens, becoming part of the background, like your own heartbeat. You don't know exactly what has changed, but you can feel it. Something in you is lighter now, as if the garden itself has placed a piece of its magic within you. And for the first time since you arrived, you feel that you are not just a guest here. You are part of it. The path between waking and dream. The keeper does not speak for a long while after you leave the hollow. The only sound is the soft brush of your footsteps over the glowing path and the distant sigh of leaves in the moon garden's canopy. You glance back once, hoping to catch another glimpse of the heart of the garden, but it is already hidden from sight, wrapped again in its veil of trees and light. The keeper slows their pace until you walk side by side. There is a place, they say quietly, where the garden touches the very edge of waking. Few ever find it, for it lies in the seam between thought and dream. The eyes glimmer faintly. It can only be reached in stillness. They lead you to a narrow bridge made not of stone or wood, but of woven silver threads that hum faintly under your weight. Below, there is no ground, only an endless sea of darkness pricked with faraway points of starlight, as though the garden itself is floating in the space between worlds. At the far side of the bridge stands a single arch, carved from something that looks like moonstone. Its surface shifts as though holding the reflection of a sky Jube never seen. The keeper stops before it. You cannot walk through this place in the way you've walked before, they tell you. To enter, you must let go of all movement, not just of the body, but of the mind. They motion for you to stand still within the archway. The moment you do, the world around you stills, utterly. The leaves stop swaying, the distant hum of the bridge fades, even the keeper's presence feels like a held breath in time. A softness washes over your vision, not like closing your eyes, but like drifting inward. The air here is different, seeker, warmer, and each breath pulls you deeper into a strange and weightless calm. Then, with no sensation of stepping forward, you find yourself elsewhere. The garden is gone. In its place is a landscape that feels both familiar and impossible, rolling hills that breathe like the rise and fall of a sleeping chest, rivers of silver mist flowing upward into a sky where constellations shift in slow, graceful spirals. These places silent, yet full of presence, as if the dreams of countless souls are woven here in real time. And in the far distance, half hidden in the mist, you see it, a great door of light, glowing softly as though waiting for you to draw nearer. The door of quiet light. You begin moving toward the great door in the distance, though you cannot feel your feet touch the ground. It is less like walking and more like being gently drawn forward, as if the air itself is carrying you. The closer you come, the more you sense the door is not a solid thing at all, but a delicate weave of light, like moonbeams bound together by some unseen hand. It shimmers softly, each thread pulsing in rhythm with your breathing. Around you, the silver mist curls and shifts, revealing fleeting visions. A child laughing under falling cherry blossoms. A lone traveler watching the first snow of winter. A lantern set afloat on a quiet river under midnight stars. You realize these are not random, they are memories, but not necessarily your own. They are dreams left behind by others who have walked this way, still lingering in the air like soft echoes. When you finally stand before the door, the keeper appears beside you once more, though you never saw them arrive. This is the threshold of stillness, they say. Beyond it, there is no separation between thought and being. You will not see the garden there, but you will carry its peace within you. They reach out a hand toward the door, and one of the glowing threads loosens, unraveling in slow spirals. It drifts toward you and wraps lightly around your wrist, not binding, but connecting, its glow warm against your skin. Step through, the keeper whispers. And remember, whatever you find on the other side will shape the dreams you bring back. You draw in a slow breath, feeling your heart match the steady pulse of the light. Then, without hesitation, you step forward. The moment you pass through, the world dissolves, not into darkness, but into the deepest, softest silence you have ever known. It is the kind of quiet that lives not in the absence of sound, but in the stilling of every restless thought. Somewhere, far away yet impossibly close, a new landscape begins to take shape. The sky below your feet. The silence melts away like morning mist, and when your senses return, you find yourself standing on something impossible. Beneath your feet, there is no ground, only a vast, shimmering sky, glowing with colors you've never seen before. Clouds float below you, not above, their shapes twisting into great spirals and flowing rivers of light. It feels as if you've stepped into a dream turned upside down, where the rules of the waking world no longer apply. Each step you take sends gentle ripples across this sky surface, as though it is both air and water at once. When your toes brush against it, the colors brighten and shift, soft golds melting into deep sapphire, pale lavender flowing into the faint green of dawn. Above you, or perhaps below you, it's hard to tell, hangs a vast constellation of glowing orbs. They drift slowly, and within each orb is a scene, moving like a living painting. A forest swaying under silver rain. A small boat rocking gently on an endless sea. A single candle burning in a glass lantern, untouched by wind. As you walk, one of the orbs floats closer. Without thinking, you reach out and touch it. It bursts, not with noise, but with the release of memory, as though a wave of Simeone's joy, calm, and longing washes straight into you. Your breath deepens, your shoulders loosen, and you realize, you're not only seeing dreams here. You're reabsorbing them. They are becoming part of you. Far ahead, you notice a towering archway made of drifting stardust, its frame shifting like liquid light. It seems to be calling you forward, each glittering swirl a whisper, "Come closer." There is more to see. You take a step toward it, the sky beneath you blooming with fresh color at your touch. The archway of drifting stardust. The archway rises higher with every step you take, yet it never feels as though you're chasing it, it feels as though it's gently moving toward you. The frame is woven from threads of pure starlight, shifting like strands of silver hair floating in a slow current. Each thread glows softly, and within that glow, you catch tiny images, fleeting, delicate visions, of places you can't name. One thread shows a mountain made entirely of crystal, reflecting 100 moons. Another shows a river made of ink-black water where constellations shimmer on the surface as if painted by a patient hand. As you approach, the air changes. It is no longer simply air, it's warmer, silky, filled with a faint humming vibration that resonates deep in your chest. Every breath feels like a sip of liquid serenity. The world around you begins to quiet, not just the absence of sound, but the quieting of thought, the stilling of every restless ripple inside you. When you finally stand before the archway, you notice that it has no fixed shape. From one angle, it is a circle, smooth and whole. From another, it is a pointed cathedral window. And when you close your eyes and simply feel it, it is neither, but rather a gentle curve, like the outline of the moon resting in a cradle of cloud. The drifting particles that form it begin to swirl faster, rearranging themselves into an open portal. Through it, you see not just a place, but a feeling. The scent of rain on warm stone. The weightless glide of a bird in rising wind. The softness of a memory you never lived but somehow know. A whisper floats from the archway, not in a voice, but in the language of your own thoughts. Step through, and the garden will know you. You take a deep breath. The moment you pass through, it feels as though the starlight melts over your skin like warm moonlit water. You are lighter, as though all the heaviness you carried has quietly drifted away, left behind in the sky you walked upon. On the other side, you find yourself standing in a place more beautiful than anything you've seen so far. The moonlit meadow of whispering petals. The light here is softer than anywhere you've been. As if the moon herself has descended to lay her silver glow upon the grass. You stand at the edge of a meadow that stretches farther than your eyes can follow, a gentle, endless wave of tall, swaying stems. The air is cool, touched by a breath of sweetness that lingers on your lips. Each flower here is unlike any you've seen. Their petals are impossibly thin, almost translucent, and they glow faintly from within. Not with the brightness of a lamp, but with the tender shimmer of a firefly's wing. The colors shift slowly as though the blossoms are breathing, deep violet fades into pale blue, then into a ghostly silver. It feels less like they are changing color and more like they are passing through moods. Sharing with you their quiet joy, their ancient calm. As you step forward, the petals stir, not from the wind, but from the awareness of your presence. They lean toward you, brushing your fingertips. And the moment you touch one, you hear the faintest sound. A whisper. It is not words, not exactly. It is the voice of the flower telling you of the night it first bloomed. Of the moonlight that coaxed it open. Of the centuries of gentle rains and starlit evenings that have passed over this meadow. You understand not through language, but through a feeling that blooms quietly inside your heart. The grass beneath your feet is warm, almost like velvet. Each step sinks slightly into it, holding you in place just enough to make you feel anchored, safe. Far ahead, a thin silver path cuts through the meadow, winding gently toward a distant hill. And on that hill, you can just make out the faint outline of a luminous tree, its branches lifting into the sky like a prayer. But for now, you don't rush toward it. Instead, you linger in the meadow, letting the whispers wrap around you. Feeling your thoughts soften until there is nothing left but the slow rhythm of your breath. And the steady beat of your heart in this endless, moonlit calm. The luminous tree on the hill. The silver path beneath your feet feels alive. Each step releases a faint ripple of light, as though the ground itself remembers your presence and wishes to guide you onward. The meadow's whispering petals watch you go, their glow dimming slightly, as if in quiet farewell. But you feel their blessing in every breath of cool night air that follows you. The hill ahead rises gently, its slope painted in shades of moonlight and shadow. From here, you can see the luminous tree more clearly. Its trunk is pale and smooth, almost like polished stone. And its branches stretch far and wide, each one draped in cascades of glimmering leaves that sway without wind. The light it gives off is not harsh or blinding. It is a soft radiance, as though it carries a memory of every starlit night the world has ever known. As you climb, the sounds of the meadow fade into a gentle hush. The only noise now is the subtle rustling of the tree's leaves. And that sound is different from anything Sube ever heard. It is layered, like 100 voices speaking in harmony, each telling its own story, yet somehow blending into a single melody that soothes the mind. When you finally reach the crest of the hill, you pause. Standing before the tree, you feel a warmth spread through you, not physical heat, but the kind of warmth that comes from being deeply understood. Its roots are thick and winding, half buried in silver moss. And in the center, where the trunk meets the earth, a pool of still water reflects the moon overhead. You kneel beside the pool and see not just your reflection, but fragments of distant places. A quiet lake under falling snow. A desert glowing beneath 1,000 stars. A forest where golden light drips through the leaves like honey. It is as if the tree holds every peaceful place in existence within its heart. Somewhere deep inside, you feel an invitation. The tree is not only showing you these worlds, it is offering you a way to step into them. And all you have to do is listen, and follow. Stepping through the reflection. You lean closer to the pool at the base of the luminous tree. Your breath barely disturbing its glass-like surface. The reflections ripple faintly, not from wind or touch, but as though they sense your curiosity. The image shifts. The snowy lake fades, the golden forest drifts away. And what remains is a scene bathed in deep twilight. A quiet valley where fireflies drift in slow spirals. And a river glows like liquid sapphire under the moon. The sound of the luminous tree's leaves grows softer, transforming into something that feels like a gentle pull on your mind. Your gaze sinks deeper into the water's mirror. And suddenly, you realize that the reflection is no longer just an image. It has depth, like an open doorway. A faint shimmer dances around its edges. And the air hums with a tone so low and peaceful that it feels like the heartbeat of the earth itself. You reach out with your hand. The water is not cold. Instead, it feels like silk woven from light, sliding around your skin with a weightless touch. Your fingers pass through without resistance. And for a moment, it's as if you are touching the other side of the night sky. A slow breath carries you forward. You place your palm fully into the pool. And the sensation floods through your arm, into your chest, washing away every lingering thread of thought. Your mind grows quiet. And your body feels light, as though gravity itself is loosening its hold on you. Then, with the gentlest motion, you lean in further. And the world around you bends like a sheet of glass in water. The hill, the tree, the silver moss. They fade into soft blurs of light, until there is nothing but the feeling of drifting. When you open your eyes again, you are standing in the valley you saw. The one alive with fireflies and glowing rivers. The air is warm here, carrying the scent of jasmine. And every sound is distant and softened, as if the world wants nothing more than for you to rest within it. Somewhere nearby, you hear a voice, gentle, unhurried. But you cannot yet see who it belongs to. It speaks in a language older than memory. And though you do not understand the words, you feel them settling in your heart like moonlight settling on still water. The voice beneath the moon. You stand still, letting the sound guide you. The voice is soft, almost like a melody hummed to the stars, rising and falling with the rhythm of the glowing river nearby. The fireflies drift closer, circling lazily in the warm air, their tiny lantern bodies lighting the path ahead. You follow, your steps making no sound on the velvety grass. The moonlight seems to grow brighter, as though the night itself wishes you to see where you are going. Beyond a cluster of silver-barked trees, you find the source of the voice. A figure sitting at the river's edge, their back to you. Their hair flows like strands of liquid silver, catching every shimmer from the moon above. A cloak woven from night sky drapes over their shoulders, studded with faint points of light that twinkle like distant constellations. They dip their hands into the river, and wherever their fingers touch, the water brightens with soft blue sparks. The melody pauses, and without turning, the figure speaks. Their voice is like the rustle of leaves in midnight wind. Quiet, patient, but carrying a weight of infinite knowing. Jube crossed the mirror, they say. And few have walked this far without fear. Your chest feels warm, as though their words are not just sounds but currents of comfort, flowing directly into you. They turn their heads slightly, and you see their eyes. Deep pools of pale light, reflecting not your face, but the moon above you. This is the garden's heart, they continue. It is a place where thoughts grow slow and dreams grow bright. If you wish, you may rest here, and let the river carry your mind to where no shadows follow. The air is perfectly still now. The fireflies hover, unmoving. And even the river seems to pause, as if awaiting your choice. You realize that this is no ordinary encounter. The figure, whatever they are, is not merely a guide, but the guardian of this moonlit realm, raised by the moonlit river. You step forward, the grass parting silently beneath your feet. The guardian does not move, but you sense their quiet approval. They gesture to a smooth stone beside them, its surface warm despite the cool night air. You sit, feeling the stone's gentle heat seep into you, easing the last traces of tension from your body. The river is close enough that you can hear its smallest sounds. The faint swirl of currents, the delicate kiss of water against its banks, and the almost inaudible chime each time a droplet leaps into the moonlight. It is not just a river, it feels alive, aware, and welcoming. Place your hand in the water, the guardian says softly. You do. The surface is cool at first, but the instant your skin touches it, a pulse of warmth spreads through your arm. Your breathing slows without effort. And thoughts that once tumbled endlessly begin to drift apart. Like feathers carried on a lazy breeze. The guardian hums again. And the melody seems to ripple through the water, entering your fingertips and flowing upward, until it wraps around your heart and mind. Your eyes grow heavy. But you do not wish to close them. You want to watch the moon's reflection dance upon the sparkling current. The guardian speaks. But it is almost a whisper meant for your soul alone. Let the river take what you no longer wish to carry. Let the moonlight replace it with peace. Images begin to form behind your eyes. Not chaotic dreams, but gentle visions. Fields of silver grass swaying under endless twilight. Mountains shaped from crystal. And skies filled with slow falling stars. The guardian places a hand lightly on your shoulder. No words are needed. You know you are safe here. And for the first time in what feels like forever, your mind is completely still, drifting into the moon's dream. The river's gentle voice lulls you further. Its rhythm perfectly matched to the slow, steady beat of your heart. Every ripple seems to hum a note of comfort. And those notes weave together into a lullaby older than time itself. You lean back against the warm stone. The guardian's presence close but unobtrusive. Like a watchful star in the night sky. The moonlight pools around you, soft and silvery, wrapping you in its glow as though it wishes to carry you somewhere far beyond. Your eyelids grow heavier. Visage blink. The world around you becomes softer, its edges dissolving into a dreamlike haze. The grass sways slower. The water moves as though it's drifting through honey. And the stars above seem to pulse in time with your breathing. A thought drifts into your mind. Not one you seek, but one the river gives you. You are safe here. You are welcome here. You are home. You exhale. And with that single breath, the last weight inside you slips into the current, swept away without a sound. In its place, warmth fills you, radiating from your chest outward, until even your fingertips tingle with serenity. The guardian begins to hum again, their voice mingling with the river's song, until you can no longer tell which is which. The melody is slow, deep, and soothing, like a heartbeat from the earth itself. Your body becomes weightless. The air feels like water. And you are floating, not on the river, but through a moonlit sky. The stars draw closer, their light wrapping around you in delicate strands, pulling you deeper into a world made entirely of calm. You are no longer on the riverbank. You are in the moon's dream. Here, there is no time. No worry. No past or future. Only the soft embrace of endless night. And the quiet promise that you will wake only when you are ready. The last thing you feel before surrendering to sleep is the moonlight's gentle touch on your face, and the whisper of the guardian's voice, carried to you through the dream. Rest now, and drift forever in peace.